And welcome back to Area DMG. I'm your host, Phil Wesley, the Mile High Mouth. And, well, today was the second official day of E3. And Nintendo had their press conference, and Square Enix had their press conference. Square Enix press conference was pretty much mobile. We swear to God Final Fantasy VII Remake is actually a thing. And it's going to be all Nomura all the time. Which, to be perfectly honest, looking at Kingdom Hearts 3, which is getting more and more pretentious, but at least it's going to have Tangled Worlds and Frozen Worlds, there is nothing good at Square Enix. No, I'm kidding. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Reunion, Remake, Rehash, whatever. That'll be interesting in 2018 or 2017. Whenever it comes out, and it'll be Nomura craziness, so maybe we'll get Hyde in there along with Gact. Remember how wonderful Dirge of Cerberus was? Anyways, not to rain on people's parade, but yes to rain on people's parade. Shenmue 3. Shenmue 3, not 2.5 or whatever. I mean, yeah, it's using the same assets that they spent $70 million on. As Shenmue 1 and Shenmue 2, just polished up for HD. But it's going to be a brand new game, and it will ignore some of the chapters in the second game. And it's coming out digital only for PlayStation 3. Oh wait, yeah, digital only for PlayStation 4. Digital only for PlayStation 4. Let's forget for a moment that looks like a PS3 game. But digital only for PlayStation 4, physical for people who buy it on PC, and probably physical for people who buy it on NX in 2017 when it comes out. On the other hand, looking back at that, Last Guardian looked pretty decent. Anyways, let's get back to Nintendo. Where to begin on Nintendo? Let's start at the beginning. Nintendo announced Star Fox. From Platinum Games is working on it, and it looks like Star Fox. It looks pretty good. It looks fun. And I'll probably pick it up sometime. Well, not at launch, but I'll pick it up. And it's going to be good because the Star Fox games are pretty good, and it looks like they're ignoring all of the other stuff that went into Star Fox games. Also, Platinum's working on it. They showed off Mario Maker, which has this terrifying Amiibo use, which I'm okay with, actually. To me, I'm okay with that because, oh man, I'm gonna run around as 8-bit Shulk or 8-bit Pac-Man. That seems a little redundant. Oh, I can be 8-bit Sonic in a World 1-1 of my design. I kind of like that. Mario Maker just looks wonderful. Some of the stuff they also announced, they announced a spin-off of Metroid Prime called Metroid Prime. Off the top of my head, I can't remember the name of it, but it's something Force. Oh, Federation. What is it?
Federation something.
Federation Force? Federation, yeah. Anyways, it's a online co-op, local co-op, and then also it's a weird cooperative shooter. And then it has that blast ball thing as an extra attached to it. Okay, that's next year. And they also announced Mario and Luigi Paper Jam for next year. That's Mario and Luigi and Paper Mario colliding into one game. That's just weird. They also announced some more stuff with Happy Home something or other. Happy Home Helpers? They also announced a weird Animal Crossing board game. Nintendo's doing this weird thing where they're like, hey, here's this Animal Crossing Plaza thing, right? Oh, and here's an Animal Crossing level for Mario Kart. Here's more content for New Leaf, which is what they've been doing in Japan and in the US. Here is this Happy Home Maker or Happy Home Helper or something like that, Hamburger Helper thing, where you make apparently buildings and schools and other things for your animals in Animal Crossing. And then they're like, okay, here's also a board game thing that uses these amiibos, and I'm like, oh, those amiibos are adorable. That's an issue. And then of course they showed off like that huge Mario Kart thing. Sorry, not Mario Kart. The Mario Maker amiibo that makes a really huge Mario. It's like really ridiculously huge, just to commemorate the 30th anniversary. Um, they also showed off Fire Emblem, and that looks great. They showed off the Persona X Fire Emblem game, which I think it looks great. A lot of people are like, but it's kind of anime-ish. I'm like, guys, have you seen Shin Megami Tensei? Like, outside of the first couple ones or like Last Bible stuff, have you seen Shin Megami Tensei 4? Have you seen Persona 5, Persona 4, Persona 3, any of the Persona anime? Let's see, Soulbreaker. Sorry, so not Soulbreaker. Soul Summoner. Have you seen the Record Breaker, Overclock, that type of thing? Those are kind of, they have anime in them, the anime art style, because that's what they are. If you're not used to it, and if it bothers you, I'm sorry, then maybe Persona or Shin Megami Tensei isn't for you anymore. I mean, you should have known that when they did the Etrian Odyssey Persona thing. Persona Q? Wonderful game, by the way. But I was looking at these and I'm like, there are a lot of people who are mad at Nintendo because we didn't get a couple announcements that we wanted. There are people who wanted the new 3DS, the non-XL one, and that's understandable, but I don't remember Nintendo announcing a lot of hardware for those. The hardware revisions at E3 in previous years, so we'll see. If they release it over here, which they will probably release it over here, seriously, they might release it closer to, they might announce it closer to the end of July or the end of June and release it closer to Christmas, or maybe close to the Yokai Watch release, which was supposed to be 2016, but it got pushed into 2015. That's going to be interesting. There were some Skylanders. There's the Mad Max Bowser. I'm like, okay. And then like the Mad Max looking Donkey Kong. I was like, these are weird. The cool thing about them is you twist the base. One way it's a Skylander, the other way it's an Amiibo. And that's pretty cool. I mean, the Bowser one pretty much looks like Immortan from, is it Morton or Immortal Joe? I don't know what his name is, really. I just know he was the dude with like the bad guy from Mad Max Fury Road.
Immortal Joe.
I always thought it was Immortan, because I've seen it on Twitter as Immortan. Huh.
Immortal Joe.
Immortal Joe. Bazooka Joe. Anyways, like, that's what he looks like with the metal breastplate thing and the big spikes things, and when he's just running around there and he's on fire, which that was just weird. It makes me wonder if there's going to be any type of Disney Infinity crossovers. I feel like a lot of Nintendo's press conference was just them just being silly, and a lot of it was more for, oh hey, families. There was more of a YouTube style focus. There's those little clips that they did, the more imaginative presentations, the little storylines. They made their presentation for an audience that isn't ready to accept that style of presentation yet. In fact, like, the little developer notes they did, those seemed like vlogs to me. It's Nintendo reaching out to YouTube, which is pretty darn obvious when you look at the end of their video where they have the big thing with people playing instruments or dogs and cats and things. Couple notes. I really love that the working out people from Mario Paint are in Mario Maker. Also, when they showed an auto level in the Mario Maker Treehouse stuff, the Fire Emblem stuff just looks so good. And it's you get to choose between the family that raised you or the family that you were born. So family of birth, family of choice. That's essentially Fire Emblem Fates. And I'm liking what I see. It looks so dramatic and good. Speaking of dramatic and good, there was there was Legend of Legacy, Stella Glow, There are so many different RPGs this year for the 3DS coming out that I just like. And then next year, of course, is there will be Zelda. There will be more stuff next year. Oh, there is more Zelda too. There's a Hyrule Warriors Legends, which is out in 2016, so probably around January. January, February is Bravely Second, Fire Emblem Fates, Hyrule Warrior Legends, Mario and Luigi Paper Jam. It's just that is a thing. So here they've got like this weird multiplayer Legend of Zelda game, like Legend of Zelda Triforce Team or something like that. I just looked at that and was like, okay, I'll play that. That has online multiplayer, and you can play with. It's weird cooperation between people you can't effectively communicate without outside of like the little cheering people on things that they did. We'll see what else Nintendo announces. Oh, they did announce a lot of sales. There are a bunch of stuff is 30 to 50% off on the eShop. There are the Nintendo Nindies demos, which I downloaded a few of those, and Freedom Planet looks pretty good. Actually plays pretty good. Mutant Mudds is what I wanted it to be. Some of the other ones there are all multiplayer focused, and I'm looking forward to playing those a bit. And the cool thing is, if you play those, you get 15% off the game when they come out. Nintendo pretty much just made stuff for consumers who aren't technically their fan base. Their fan base was really upset. And, you know, they're entitled to that. I mean, we all went in there expecting Mother 3 to be announced, Animal Crossing Wii U, like tons of stuff, maybe not just a logo, maybe a full trailer. We wanted the Legend of Zelda even though they said they wouldn't be there. We wanted the mobile games even though they said it wouldn't be there. We want NX even though they said it wouldn't be there. Yeah, they said they were focusing on the rest of 2015 and the first quarter, which is January, February, March of 2016. And I think a lot of the Animal Crossing stuff are just pretty much stopgap games, and they didn't announce them like that because, well, you're going to have to wait till those are released before they announce it, because a full-blown Animal Crossing would kill any sales of those had it been announced. And Nintendo kind of has to look at their bottom line. Which means 2016 should be interesting for Nintendo. Hey, 2016 will be an interesting E3 for everyone. I mean, we'll have Sony will have Assassin's Creed sequel number 97, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Maybe they'll have actual gameplay this time. You'll have the first demo reels of Shenmue 3, and you'll have Kingdom Hearts 3 there again, and you'll have The Last Guardian will also be at E3 2016, and maybe actually playable in more than the form that they had, which is pretty much just ripped assets from the PS3 that they upscaled just slightly. Overall, I'm really cynical about E3 this year. And then I look at it and I'm like, wait, no. How much of this stuff am I actually spending money on? There's a few things from Nintendo. Nothing from Sony's PlayStation 4, because really they haven't justified the price for me yet. Nothing from Microsoft, although they are trying so hard. I mean, that rare replay thing. It's got the arcade Battletoads, it has the NES Battletoads, it's got remixes of everything. You can go in there and mess with these. It's got a completely uncut Conker's Bad Fur Day. No blurring, no bleeping, completely uncut, which is disturbing. Banjo-Kazooie's in it, Banjo-Tooie. There's some stuff they're talking about with like the weird lock-on stuff actually doing something in them. I'm like, ah. But all you have is Rare and Halo. You don't have anything else for me. Although PC gamers made out like a bandit this year. I mean, physical Shenmue 3. Shenmue 3 is technically first for PS4, but no, it's not going to be. Even though Sony's really bankrolling it. And Final Fantasy VII, the remaster's going to be on, PC and iOS and Android. And PS4, but the PS4 will get console timed exclusivity. So there's that. I feel bad for the Vita. There were like 2 games. Not like that. Not like that. I feel bad for Dragon Quest, because I really want Dragon Quest 7. There's still time. Nintendo and some of these other companies, they announce stuff as it goes along. So, we'll see. Remember last year, Codename Steam was announced like at the last minute pretty much. And we'll see what they do. There's some unannounced stuff there. Nintendo always announces stuff through that. Remember when Snake was in Smash Brothers? Remember when they always pull a one last thing out of their hat during the show, not during their press conference. And also, this is Nintendo. They'll probably have another Nintendo Direct within 3 weeks of E3 and be like, oh hey, here's this thing and this thing. Well, we didn't show it at E3 because, E3 is about the gamers. Which actually they've done that with like a lot of their Nintendo World Championship stuff and finally releasing Earthbound. There's a lot of criticism right now on Nintendo, and I feel that a lot of people just don't really get Nintendo because they look at Nintendo and think, well, this is the company that I grew up with. I want them to give me exactly the same stuff that I grew up with or whatever imaginary fan fiction I've written. They're like Twilight fans. I'm sorry. And it's kind of funny because Nintendo's big thing this year is like, hey, we love you guys. Make us Mario videos and put those out. And then here's Mario Maker, so you can make your 50 Shades of Octo that you've always wanted. Sorry, Birdo that you've always wanted. And some of those levels are terrifying, just absolutely terrifying. I was pretty impressed with that, and I love it. The fact that it's going to be easy to share. You can add annotations. When you die, little X's show up to show where other people died in that level. And you can be like, oh, wow, everyone dies in this area. It's kind of great. And you can share your levels. You can upload your levels, replays of those to YouTube. They're adding YouTube functionality to Super Smash Brothers, finally. And all sorts of stuff. Overall, E3's not over yet, so we'll see where stuff goes. We're going to head out, or rather I'm going to head out tomorrow to check out Mario Maker at Best Buy, and we'll report from there too. So I might take some pictures, play some Mario Maker, get some street passes. It's all good. And I'm your host, Philip Wesley, the Mile High Mouth, and you are now caught up.